Hello and welcome to Next Week Now, next week's new way of knowing the new news before even the news knows what's the news now. I'm Ethan Yoon, the world's most trusted new news newsman. Without further ado, let's dive into next week's news now. With the release of the new iPhone X, Apple has hit us with yet another curveball, the removal of the home button. Let's be honest, we all saw this coming. I wouldn't want my X anywhere near my home. That's right, Karen, I haven't forgotten you, you human scum. Please get out of my life. I'm sorry, Karen, that was immature of me. I think I'm ready to change. If you could just give me one more chance, I promise I'd make it up with you. I know it's hard to deal with my erratic waffle-making habits, but I can change. Okay, let's get back on topic. Following the release of the iPhone X, Apple plans to remove more than just the home button for their next model. In fact, the iPhone XI will not even be a phone anymore, just an idea. To explain this, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Apple CEO Tim Cook.
Hi, it's me, Tim Cook. That's me, who I am. Hi, Ethan. It's great to be here and me, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple.
All right, Mr. Cook, so can you explain exactly what the iPhone XI is? I think I'm a little confused.
Ethan, that's, a really good question, especially to ask me because I'm Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. It's really great that you've observed what you have because technology is confusing, We're expanding our reach at an exponential pace. And the new iPhone XI is just one of these many examples that I can prove as CEO of Apple, Tim Cook. That's me, Tim Cook.
Okay, but what exactly is the iPhone XI?
Ethan, that is one of the questions that we ask ourselves the most at Apple headquarters. Being Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, I'm there a lot. We ask, what is the iPhone XI? What does it mean to be an iPhone? I wouldn't know. I'm just a human. I'm just Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. But what does XI even mean? These are questions that people have been asking for literally centuries. They've been asking me, Tim Cook, for literally centuries. That question. Me, Tim Cook.
Well, I think XI is what the Romans used for the number 11.
Ethan, I'm so glad you brought up the Romans because they were our main influence for the iPhone XI, especially for me, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. That's who I am, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple.
How is that possible? You can't use the Romans as like a way to influence a cellular device.
I disagree. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, me, Tim Cook, I disagree with you because
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Tim Cook.
Yep, that's me, Tim Cook.
Can you please tell us some features that will be included with the iPhone XI?
Absolutely, Ethan. And you're going to love these features that Tim Cook, have created for this iPhone. They are absolutely stunning, and they're going to change the way you and I specifically communicate. Nobody else maybe, but you and I for sure. It's going to change the way that we do things.
You, Tim Cook.
Me, Tim Cook.
Okay. So you've added new social apps and settings. Is that what you're saying?
Ethan, it goes so beyond that. Tim Cook, will demonstrate. Here, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. What do you see right now?
It's dark.
How do you feel, though?
A little confused.
Great. Now, I want you to try and picture a furry marmot. Listen to it as it calls to you. It crawls up to you. It licks your hands. It licks your feet. Do you feel it?
I don't know.
Ethan, that is exactly the feeling that you're going to get with the iPhone XI. That's exactly what we were trying to recreate.
Uncomfortable confusion?
That's just it, Ethan. Phones do so much for us these days that we just don't have the time to be confused anymore. We need to be confused more often.
Oh, okay. I still don't really get it. Will it at least have a camera?
Ethan, I've got to come clean with you. I'm not Tim Cook, and I'm not here to promote my new iPhone because I'm not Tim Cook. I'm here to ask your permission to go out with Karen.
What?
Ethan, you guys haven't been dating for a year, and we've just been talking, and, she hates waffles, and you like waffles, and I also hate waffles, and, we kind of clicked, and I feel like the right thing to do was make sure that you were okay with the two of us.
No, get off this set, okay? You do not have my blessing. The headphone jack should have never been removed, all right?
I'm not Tim Cook, so, and also we have a child.
You have a child?
Yeah, we have a child. Look, I thought, listen, Ethan, I thought we could do this maturely, but clearly somebody isn't ready to do this yet. So I, not Tim Cook, am leaving.
Wait,
I'm leaving.
Tim Cook, wait.
I'm leaving. I'm not Tim Cook.
Be on the lookout for the new iPhone XI. Is it even a phone? Find out soon. Moving on. Bad news for Democrats this week. Sure, the Democrats may have won big in elections. Okay, I'll grant them that. But really, this was predictable. We saw these wins coming. Sure, inexperienced politicians managed to beat longtime incumbent Republicans, but really, this isn't a big setback for the Republican Party. As we know, many of the Republicans most likely lost because they refused to give President Trump all of their Halloween candy. And the voters knew it. But the real news is what's happening next week. Sure, it may seem like the Democrats have big things in the bag for the next couple of years, but don't get too cozy, liberals, because next week we're catching a big one. That's right, Hillary Clinton will be caught red-handed. We'll finally have proof that Clinton sold uranium to the Russians with the help of Lex Luthor, Hans Gruber, all the James Bond villains, Darth Vader, and my stepmom Agatha. Now, we're not entirely sure what nefarious plot is being enacted, but we can be sure anything involving both Lex Luthor and Hillary Clinton is sure to set society back by a few decades. Speculation right now insists that Russia will be using the uranium to make a neutron bomb, which, according to my sources, is a really big bomb capable of creating a black hole that will suck capitalism off the planet. Another possibility is that the Russians are using the uranium to build a giant rock in order to launch that rock into space and then fake the moon landing. All right, moving on. Here at Next Week, now we like to think about the big picture. And the biggest picture is America. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, America is worth at least 1,004 words. One of the biggest controversies affecting America is whether or not if there is climate change. Some may argue there is no controversy because scientists have generally agreed there is some amount of change done to our climate from human actions, but we here at Next Week Now only trust true scientists that we pay to tell us what we want to hear. For those cucks trying to tell me to stop shoveling diesel into my Hummer H2, there are some questions that we'd like you to answer. If climate change is real, how are there deserts? Why did we just get a cold front? Why can I still feel the wind in my hair? Why can I feel the grass beneath my feet? How do birds still fly? Why do fish continue to make sweet love to each other in the ocean? How does the moon keep affecting the tides? Why can't my grandpa feel it in his knees? Why doesn't all ice cream melt? Why do people still wear fur pelts? Why do I wear pants to hold up my belt? Why are my rhymes so cold? Up next, here's how Bernie could still win. Okay, folks, let's stay tuned with the political happenings. Obviously, Democrats had a big electoral win this week, but they still haven't had the big win they're waiting for. Putting Bernie Sanders into that big white fun house in the sky where the descendants of George Washington live. Now, of course, it's still unlikely that Bernie could pull through and win the 2016 election, but it's not impossible. And in fact, we have a new strategy that Bernie could execute in order to secure the victory. Bernie's strategy relies mostly on gaining popular support, meaning teaming up with whoever or whatever is popular at the time to get those voters to the polls. And what's more popular right now than Kevin Spacey? I mean, the Stranger Things kids. That's right. It seems we're always discovering new hidden talents that these kids have. Singing, dancing, architecture, cooking, counting all the way to 17, talking to birds, telekinesis, and throwing sick parties in my stepdad Chad's place. But what better skill to have than politics? That's right, if Bernie Sanders could team up with the kids from Stranger Things, then he might just have a chance to defeat the Demogorgon and Donald Trump in the 2016 election. And that's all this time for How Bernie Could Still Win. Now for a break brought to you by the iPhone XI. When we come back, let's talk about the dumbing down of America and its youth.